Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 10 versus 10 on Krupki, and I'm going to be playing with the third VDD. This game was absolutely incredible. You will have never seen so much smoke, and that's not just because I'm playing the third VDD, it's because our entire team is playing the third VDD. Following up the trend of some of the other videos I've been doing recently, I managed to get the team together to all play the same division, and I somewhat coordinated our start. You can see the majority of people starting here with the 120mm mortars, as well as an absolute flood of Desaniki. And my start was quite simply 3 120mm mortars and all the Desaniki that I could place down. So multiple Desaniki pushing to the front, and I'm going to be heading to this tree line over here in order to take this flag out in the open. Now, the nice thing about this strategy with the third VDD is, due to the amount of smoke that you have, basically what happens is you can push anywhere on the map. But early on, absolutely loads of Pumas and German armored cars come down this road, get ambushed completely by the Desaniki. One of my squads of Desaniki manages to get 1 kill on target, but 3 of them have managed to break through. But absolutely wild engagement there as the rest of these now move up the hill. This is actually a big problem for us because it has the potential to really shut down our strategy. If we don't find a way to kill off these armoured cars soon, what will happen is we'll lose all of our mortars, and without our mortars there's no smoke, and without smoke the Desaniki don't have cover, and without cover the Desaniki die. So the entire sort of push just falls apart at that point. We do have Gator here coming through with all of his infantry. He's managed to actually get quite far down in the mid, and he does have his Desaniki ready there to stop those, but you can see that the first of my 120mm mortars is going to go down to the 2, 3, 4, 1 and the Pumas, and due to the divisions that we're playing, our fastest response is either U2 recon bombers or Valentine 9s. Like, of all things, like these Valentine 9s, 19 km/h off-road speed. So these Pumas and the SPW 234 here actually doing a decent job, but I'm going to invest in biplanes, and here we go with the biplanes once again. Very similar to the 10v10 biplane game that I did. Bringing in 6 biplanes at the start here with the 4 50kg bombs. Kind of a nod to the first game that I did. The bombs ideally going to be taking out these armoured cars. Enough of them on target should get the job done, and we at least managed to force them off Valdis's 120mm mortars for the time being. Meanwhile, I've spread out my Desaniki on the front line. I've also managed to get them over to the left here quite well. So we're going to be unloading those and move them across. These tanks didn't have line of sight because there's no recon with them, so I'm given a chance to get into cover. And we've managed to clean up the rest of those armoured cars. So I'm now left with 1 120mm mortar until phase B, and I'm going to have to rely on Valdis's smoke to help us make ground. Meanwhile, elsewhere across the map, we have smoke helping infantry cross on the bottom side. The Desaniki have managed to move up to the heavy cover in the mid. And on the right hand side, that is a lovely elephant kill. Goes down. So nicely done there. Meanwhile, I'm finding and slaughtering Panzergrens, trying to get on top of these half-tracks, but with them backing off, there's no need for me to chase them down. But with the smoke coming over from Valdis, maybe I can get on top of this armor The difficulty, of course, is I need smoke basically directly on top of them to make it work. U2's coming over. I at least managed to catch up to one of the half tracks and get a grenade on that. And I decide to fail on the idea of continuing forwards. And my U2 is getting forced off by the 20mm AA. One of them unfortunately shot down there already. Second one goes down to the 20mm on the right. And the Desarniki, yeah, they'll fall back into cover until the smoke comes back again. So supply coming out already across the board for the smoke rounds. The trouble with these 120mm mortars is they only come with 10 rounds of smoke, so if you don't have supply at the start, then you're in a bad spot. But I at least run forwards and get revenge for the biplanes by killing off the 20mm AA. And the pushes have stalled a little bit after the start here. The smoke's still coming down, and more smoke will fill the map as the game goes on, because more of our players will be able to invest into those mortars. And also, there's smoke off map. This division does, I think it's the only division that gets access to smoke off map. So we'll be seeing that as the Desarniki continue to try and find targets. This smoke nicely placed so that Valdis can potentially ambush the Panzer IVs and the Tigers that are coming across the open here. But yeah, my Desant's here in a really good spot, because anything that comes down this road will have to deal with these Desarniki eventually if it wants to take back this flag. And the thing about Krupki is this is designed to be a 10v10 map in the 10v10 lobby. So it's like a 10v10 specific version of Krupki, where the map or where the flags are like quite far back across the front. There's like no flags in the middle of the map. So being able to capture these flags further back has actually worked out really well. We're in a really good position. Nice bombing strikes coming through from the U2s. Unfortunately, unable to actually find the kill, but the Desarniki at least find the Panzer IV thanks to the smoke. And I wonder how many times I'm going to be saying smoke today. You can see once again, smoke coming down. Grim Guy this time, and Tanko ready to push across. Unfortunately, enemy artillery is coming in. Now, I will talk a little bit about how to counter this kind of gameplay, because it is incredibly obnoxious. But quite simply, what you want to be doing is whenever you see smoke as the enemy, is putting your own mortar fire into said smoke. That way you can just pin the enemy in place as they try and push you through the smoke. The other thing is, units like Panzergrens are actually pretty good in this situation, and specifically like MP44 units, because the majority of the time where you are smoking is going to be out in the open, and that means you don't have any cover. And without cover, MP44s do a lot of damage, and they also have slightly more range than the Desarniki do. Well, the Desarniki, they only have 100 meter range, or if they get within 100 meters of any enemies, they do a significant amount of damage. But until they get within that 100 meter range, they are actually very vulnerable to being hit by units like MP44s that have 300 meters range. So yeah, units with MP44s, basically any unit that has longer range than 100 meters, plus your own mortar fire into the smoke, and yeah, you should be good. Now, when smoke's this abundant, it can be obviously somewhat difficult to pinpoint where the enemy troops are going to be, but yeah, it's basically worth throwing some mortar rounds in there if you're going to try and counter it. Now, lots of armor in the middle here, still trying to make ground. I'm going to bring in a bunch of Avtos, ready to push those. So I've only got one 120mm mortar myself, but Andy here has his smoke ready to go, and he's starting to smoke the SPW234-1s and the Panthers here. So that's going to allow me eventually to push up here and engage all of this armor. He does have his own descent already moving into position, but PZ has somewhat seen it coming But more and more smoke comes down. And look at that, it's a panther. It's a dead panther. Because these all have the 300mm penetration heat AT grenades, they can absolutely blast these tanks at close range. And Endy's done a good job so far. We've just moved into phase B, so that is going to allow me to buy more mortars for myself to cover myself. You can see that this one mortar that I have left is working overtime to provide smoke in the right positions for us to continue to move forwards. Yeah, this is a glorious target for our troops at close range that we're going to try and take advantage of. Loads of smoke coming down in the town, allowing McShab to push forwards here. But we still have control over the flag in this location, and on the right hand side we somehow managed to push them off completely there as well. Here come my Avtos now in the M2A1 half-tracks. Each of these have 50 cals as well, which is really scary for the enemy to deal with, because it means that we can actually deal with that infantry that I was talking about would otherwise counter our troops. But Endymion still moving through here and taking out multiple tanks. Tiger, Panther, Panzer III. Look at all of these troops here. Panzer IIIs galore. But I'm going to unload the Avtos, and we're going to be getting grenades on target, and they're going to get absolutely slaughtered and surrendered. The smoke ambush absolutely ruining this guy's day, and he's going to surrender. Off we go, continuing up the road here. The Avtos in a very, very good position. We're running down a King Tiger and a Tiger. Unfortunately, that M2A1 going to get blasted, but the last man manages to get out. And the M2A1s are going to just continue to drive towards the Tiger. Will the King Tiger survive? The M2A1s managed to get behind him. And hello to the King Tiger, as one Avto drops out, the second Avto drops out, and the King Tiger goes down. We're also going to be finding the commander of Sino on the backside here. An absolutely incredible push that demolished enemy forces. Smoke of Valdis dissipating, allowing his Desaniki to get taken out on the left hand side. But yeah, meanwhile, the Avtos really did a great job there of smashing through the lines between myself and Endymion, providing smoke. It worked out incredibly well. This Avto trying to catch up to the commander on the backside. I need to get right on top of it if I want to kill it. Just like we're doing here. The Panzer IV and the 88. Good targets for the Avtos, but Endymion should have it covered with his own Desaniki. So I'm actually rushing through to engage the SDKFZ-71 here and any other armor that's further up. So we take out the SDKFZ-71, and I'll be pushing further through that smoke, although I did manage to get myself pinned down, unfortunately. So Valentine, my single Valentine on the left hand side here. Ryan Brandon's actually put Zis-2s up on the ridge, which is causing it to be difficult for this armor to make any ground. And yeah, in this situation, even as an armored division, you don't want to be investing in armor. You just want to get as much infantry down as possible. Spread your half-tracks around the smoke, and then just have your Panzergrenz try and engage the Desaniki inside the smoke. Now, if you do manage to get a Panzergren engaged by a Desaniki at 100 meter range in the open, the Desaniki will slice them open, but with any luck there'll be gaps enough in the smoke that the majority of your Panzergrens will then just slaughter the Desaniki. But for now, more Desaniki on the way. Currently 14 to 10, so 17 minutes remaining. One of the other problems with this kind of strategy is it's not really sustainable over a long period of time. You do eventually run out of Desaniki, so that's kind of the one thing that we need to hurry with. We need to make sure that we get this game in the bag as soon as possible. So we managed to push up here at least and take this position, and now my units are in heavy cover. It's going to be hard for them to kind of push us out of that quickly. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is send my next blob of descents up to where the smoke's coming through with Tankol and also Grim Guy here. You're putting pressure onto these two flags. But the 259s are on their way. These 259s are actually another relatively good choice. If you can keep them spread out around the smoke, it works out quite well. But a lovely yeet there by the Avto manages to clean up one as they move past. The Phase B T-34-76 is on the way. And this is where the enemy needs that armor. Yeah, as you do move into the Phase B, you do get a spam of medium tanks, and Panthers will be required to deal with that. But having the sort of line of Panzergrenadiers and infantry, first of all, is most important to counter this kind of strategy. So, Desarniki managing to get really far up here. Tankol's push well advanced of mine, managing to clean out all of the light cover. And now we're pushing through to the far side heavy cover, where the soft troop will try and hold the line. But getting caught at the 100-meter range is not where they want to be. I'm managing to find myself a poor motorcycle. These descents cleaning out the 20mm. More smoke is needed. More smoke will come as the push continues. So the Desarniki pushing up here through all of the heavy cover once again. And it's pretty much just the story of this strategy. Smoke, Desarniki, heavy cover. You use the smoke to smoke in between the heavy cover, push the descents into the next heavy cover, wait until you get your smoke back again, go again to the next area. Oh, here we go, the Decima coming in. Again, all getting caught at close range and slaughtered and surrendered by my infantry. I had the perfect surround on them there, and my smoke is coming in to allow them to now push up the ridge and try and find their way on top of the Tiger and the Grille. The Grille's here, actually doing some decent damage to Endymion's AT guns over on the left, so we're going to want to take care of those. I bumped into a 120mm mortar. I'll definitely take that kill as we continue to charge forwards and try and take care of the Grille up on the ridge, but Therno's not going to allow us to get those kills easily, correctly backing off. And I think for our enemies, they didn't really anticipate the amount of like smoke plays we would be making, and that's what allowed us to kind of catch them out. Lampanzer's actually not a terrible choice again. We managed to clean up both of my Avtos, but the Schutzen here quickly surrendering under that ambush. But I have to be careful myself. Currently waiting for more smoke so those descents can push up onto the ridge. So I did end up deploying like a couple more mortars into the middle. I still have the mortar on the left that's firing away. And meanwhile, in the town, the Desarniki DT trying to move up. But these don't have any AT, so they're not able to deal with the Panther. The Avtos might, though. Well, then they're deciding to just push on through. Now Tankol bringing down the smoke off map. This 132mm truck. A little observer here. We'll be dropping smoke in this area. As I said, this is pretty much the only division, I think, that has access to smoke off-map, and it's something that you will definitely need over time if you're going to rely on a strategy like this. IL-2, nice clean kill there onto the Panther D. Definitely have some pretty scary tools moving forwards, especially if you're in a very good position due to the initial Thessaloniki push. Like the swarm of T-34s and potentially aircraft is a nice follow-up, but much easier countered than the Thessaloniki smoke push. The nice thing about the Thessaloniki smoke push in Phase A is that your opponent is unlikely to have as many mortars in time, and they're also going to struggle to have the infantry numbers to match you. But Thessaloniki there still managing to get the grenade onto the 259. Unfortunately, this one gets evaporated by the guerrilla. Still guerrillas up on that ridge that are making things difficult for us, but now only 40 seconds until victory, as everybody on the team has put the pedal to the metal across the board, and there are smoke piles everywhere after all of these vehicles have been killed at close range by the descents. Have an IL-2 coming in to the mid, looking for the Tiger and the Panzer IVs. I've got the the U2 LNB Recon checking things out. I noticed there wasn't really much AA left in the center of the map here, so the IL-2 looking for some kills just before the end of the game. Coming in now. I want to take out as many guerrillas as possible because these things had been annoying me slightly. So there goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beautiful quad kill for the IL-2. Now the U2 is coming in with the bombing strikes onto the Tiger. Unfortunately, last bombing strike doesn't land in time to get the kill, but 21 minutes and 48 seconds. That is a major victory for our team. And what a glorious game it was. 1,750 kills to 885 losses. ND beating me to the first place with an extra 15 kills. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. I know that this is kind of a very stompy game, but yeah, not going to be doing this very often. Even if it is kind of fun to use this smoke infantry strategy. It does show you just how obnoxious it can be, but hopefully with me talking about how to counter it, anybody who sees this video and plays Steel Division 2 will have some success or better do better against this kind of strategy moving forwards. Because yeah, it is a strategy that I've showed before on the channel, and yeah, it's very, very difficult to deal with. The main thing is, like, these 120mm mortars, perfect. Just throw that 120mm mortar with its big dispersion into anywhere where there's smoke. Then things like guerrilla, flampanzers, and then loads of infantry is all you really need to counter it. Because as soon as the smoke dissipates and all of that infantry gets caught out in the open, then they just get slaughtered. And there was nothing really to punish the descents once the smoke ran out. So that's why we managed to get away with it in this game. Anyway, really fun game, quick game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.